Hey guys, it's McSuper. I bet you didn't expect this from me, huh? If you know my Twitter page, then if you follow me on Twitter, you definitely know that I'm into hockey. So, I'm going to do some Stanley Cup Playoff predictions here for round number 1, and everything that's beyond that, I will do a separate prediction for round 2, round 3, and the finals when it gets to that stage. But for now, let's focus on round 1. I have posted these predictions on my Twitter page, so make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to get the latest hockey news and all that good stuff. All the predictions you see on my Twitter account, those are the accurate predictions. If there are any inconsistencies, follow my Twitter prediction rather than what I say here. Here I'll just give a few reasons why I think the team that I say is going to win. Okay, so let's start here in the West. We have the Nashville Predators against the Dallas Stars. The Stars have had a great season. They had Ben Bishop in net. He's been healthy. You know how good Ben Bishop was in Tampa Bay before he got traded? Yeah, he's been good. And you know all the problems that the Preds have in the playoffs, even though they had a pretty deep run last year. You know all the things that people say about Nashville. They have Trashville. They have Pekka Rinne is too good right now. Pekka Rinne is a seasoned goaltender. He's not a playoff goaltender. Let's be real here. But the Preds are a very deep team. The Stars, they also do. They have a pretty good rookie as well, Miro Heiskanen. He's been doing pretty good. But I have to give this to the better team, the Preds. I'll give them the win in 6 games. Okay, so next we have Winnipeg and St. Louis, the Jets and the Blues. You know I love Canadian teams. I'm a Canadian. I love Canadian teams. Winnipeg is a very good team. St. Louis, they rose from the ashes. They were the last team in the league at some point earlier in the season. Yet they've clawed their way back with their stud rookie goaltender, Jordan Binnington. Heck, he could beat Elias Pettersson for the Calder if the Blues make it deep into this playoff run. But the Jets have very strong offense, defense, and pretty good solid goaltender in Connor Hellebuck. He's been solid all year long, even though the Jets have kind of tapered down just a little bit. They could have easily gotten first in the division to fight Dallas, but they kind of choked, and yet they are here against St. Louis in round 1. I give this a toss-up, though I will give the edge to the Jets. I'll say they can win this in 7 games. It's going to be a tight series. Probably the tightest one of round 1 for the West. Okay, the next one, Calgary and Colorado. You probably would expect me to say that the Flames are going to dominate the Avs because the Flames are just so good this year. The Avs, on the other hand, they kind of clawed their way in through the Turtle Derby of this Western Conference playoff race. This close the entire year. Arizona could have easily made the playoffs. Chicago, even Edmonton or Vancouver could have made the playoffs. But the Avs beat everybody out. They have one of the best first lines in the league in Rantanen, McKinnon, and Landeskog. That's for sure. The Flames have very good offensive players like Gaudreau, Monahan, and Tkachuk. What a season they all had. The Flames have 107 points on the year, clinching the Western Conference. They're a good team, and the Flames are going to win this series, no doubt in my mind, but I want to see a good series out of Colorado as well. I would give this to the Flames in 5 games. So I do want the Avs to put up a fight, and they sure will. Okay, the next one, the one that I'm going to watch, San Jose Sharks against the Vegas Golden Knights. a rematch of last year's second round. The Vegas Golden Knights definitely were not as good as they were last year. The Golden Knights were so good last year in their inaugural year. This year they've kind of tapered off. They still made the playoffs definitively. They had 93 points. The Sharks were second in the Pacific Division with 101. I love the Golden Knights. You gotta give me that. They had such a good year last year. I followed them right till the end until they lost to the Caps. They had a great year. This year, a tough start, but a pretty good finish for sure for the Golden Knights. They have solid goaltending. Their roster's kind of questionable, but they again managed to make the playoffs, so there have to be some very good parts to this team. The Sharks, they're very, very good depth. Very good offensive, defensive. Goaltending, I could question that. Martin Jones, his record's great. His numbers are a little bit shaky this year. The Sharks have really, really struggled in their late March, early April games. But they definitely did good enough to make the playoffs. Because their shakiness, I gotta give this to the Golden Knights. No, even the Sharks could easily take it. I can definitely see the Sharks taking this one. But this is my bold prediction of this round one. I'll say the Golden Knights are going to win this in 6 games. Hate me if you want, but I really think the Golden Knights can win this. Okay, now to the Eastern Conference, which... Hint, Boston, Toronto, but best series for sure. Okay, but we'll start with Tampa and Columbus. Tampa Bay, what a year. 128 points in the year. Oh my goodness. What a year for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Andrei Vasilevsky, dynamite. Great defensive skills, great offensive skills. Best team in the league. Definitively. Columbus. They kind of snuck in. I thought Montreal would have made the playoffs, but Columbus managed to make it, and credit them. But this is going to be an easy series. Tampa Bay sweep is what I'm calling here. Tampa Bay's just too good. Okay, next one. The best series for sure. Boston and Toronto, another rematch. So this time, Toronto Maple Leafs fans still definitely have high expectations for the Maple Leafs to finally exercise those demons of Boston. Toronto, they've had a good year, but once again they have choked. They could have had a higher standing, but they have lost a lot of games lately. The Bruins continue to fly. Had a great year. Bruins have another very good first line. Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak. Pretty much on par with Colorado. You know how good Bruins are in the playoffs. Yeah, goaltending is a little bit of a toss-up. Maple Leafs have a lot of exciting players like Kasperi Kapanen or Mitch Marner or Austin Matthews. It's going to be a great series, a tight one. But in the end, I think I'll give this to the Bruins in 6 games. Leafs fans, you're going to hate me. I'm very sorry. I love Canadian teams. But I don't really see the Maple Leafs being able to beat the Bruins. The Bruins are a very deep team. Yep, definitely a really tough series for me to call, but I'd say Boston takes this. Now, the next one, the returning Stanley Cup champions, or the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Washington Capitals against the Carolina Hurricanes. Did you guys expect the Hurricanes to make the playoffs this year? Tell me that in the comments below. The Hurricanes are a team that I don't closely follow. The Caps, on the other hand, I know how good they can be. It's hard for me to bet against the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Washington Capitals, and I won't. I really won't. The Caps are going to take this. I'd say in 5 games is what I'm going to say. The Caps are a very good team. No questions asked. They're Hurricanes. They kind of snuck in as well. Well, they snuck in less than Columbus did. That's for sure. But they still snuck in. I have basically no reasons for this one. Okay, the next one we have Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is going to be another toss-up series. It's going to be a very close one. Islanders riding off Matthew Barzal. Penguins, of course, riding off Crosby, Malkin, all that good stuff as well. These are teams that follow very closely. I am going to say the Islanders are going to win this in 7 games, but I don't really know much about these two teams, so I don't have a very accurate prediction here. Okay, let's go into round 2. We have the Nashville Predators against the Winnipeg Jets, another rematch. Winnipeg took it last year because there were a lot of factors. The Nashville Predators just did not step up. And they were named Trashville for a reason. Because Pecorino did not perform in that series. He was pulled a lot of times. Hopefully he's able to change this. But again, the Jets and the Preds have a lot of energy in the buildings. Catfish for the Preds. And the Jets have one of the loudest arenas in the NHL. Gotta go to the Canadian team. Yeah, definitely do. I'm going to say the Jets are going to win this in 7 games. It's a very tough series for me to call once again. It could go both ways. Okay, the next one's going to be the Calgary Flames against the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, if the Golden Knights do end up being the Sharks, this could be an entertaining series. The Flames, once again, I think they reign superior over the rest of the West. Well, that rhymed. The Flames, I think, could overpower the Golden Knights. Golden Knights have the energy and the power of their fans in a very loud arena. The Flames just have a good team. They only need that to win. I go for the Flames in 5 games. Now, to the Eastern Conference, we have Tampa Bay against Boston. Now, can you really bet against Tampa Bay with the season they've had? No, you can't. Tampa Bay can overpower basically any team. Right? No, Tampa's too good for the Bruins. I'd say Tampa in 5. Yep. Next will be the Capitals against the Islanders, and this is where I think I'll make another bold prediction. You think Ovechkin and the Capitals are going to win this? I don't see that being so. The Islanders have had such a great year. Thomas Greiss, a breakout year for him. Yeah, even though he's aging, he's definitely been the definitive #1 goaltender for the Islanders. So, coming off of that, and they don't have that reliance that they had on John Tavares, and now that Tavares is so good in Toronto, the Islanders kind of walked away from that, and from all the good spirits that the Islanders have, I'd say the Islanders are going to win this in 6 games. Now to the conference finals in the West, we have the Winnipeg Jets against the Calgary Flames. Now this is where I think I'm a little bit biased because 2 Canadian teams in the Western Conference final is a little bit biased from my point of view, but it could very well happen. This is where my reasons start to diminish. I don't have many reasons at this point. I only have hunches. And I think I gotta say that the Flames are gonna win this. I'll say in 6 games. Now, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning against the New York Islanders. And honestly, this is where controversy is going to start to build, because I'm calling for probably the most massive upset this year. Tampa, I don't see them winning the cup, because generally when you look at the NHL, people who are teams who really perform well in the regular season do not tend to do well in the playoffs. Playoffs are a different beast. Tampa Bay has probably rode the tide of the regular season in their first 2 rounds, and I see that being pretty easy for them. But here, I think their road's going to end. I see the Islanders are going to win this in 7 games, only because the Islanders have had such a breakout year. Islanders could kind of rose from the ashes. Did you really see them making the playoffs without John Tavares? Maybe that was the question you had when you were heading into the regular season. And honestly, the Islanders deserve a deep playoff run, and I think they're going to get it. So, Islanders in 7. Now, this is such a weird Stanley Cup final right here. We have the Calgary Flames. Who could have expected that, right? And the New York Islanders. Here's where my Canadian pride comes into play. The Flames are just too good this year. Their only weakness is maybe their goaltender with David Riddick and Mike Smith. The Islanders have a more solidified goaltending. But the Flames have better offense, so that's why I'm going to say that they're going to win the Stanley Cup this year. And I'm going to say in 6 games. Now, I almost guarantee you that basically all my round predictions will basically be wrong. Yeah, I'm not that good at predicting stuff, so don't even trust me on this. I have very little information to back me up. But these are my preliminary hunches. Feel free to quote me on this, but just don't hold any of my words against me, please. I beg of you. I'm not that good at this. Well, thank you guys for watching my playoff predictions. Playoffs start on Wednesday, guys, and maybe after that you can kind of differentiate the wheat from the chaff, as we call it. Okay, so that's basically going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this special video. I'll see you guys in round 2 for my next predictions. And as always, it is time for us to go. See you guys.